What's up, YouTube? This is Mark with Waist Deep Wade Fishing, Southwest Florida. Hope all is well and everyone is having a wonderful weekend. I want to say thank you to everybody out there who is liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. Without your guys' help, I would not be able to be where I am today with YouTube. Today I've got a couple of tips and techniques that I think are going to help you when you're out on the water hunting those redfish. Some people may agree with me, some people may not. I've been doing this for over 20 years. These are the tips that work for me. They may not work for some people in certain areas, but in these areas in Southwest Florida, these tips work for me. So if you want to get out there on your own and try some of these tips, my hat's off to you. I guarantee you they're at least going to give you an advantage over everyone else out on the water. So let's begin. Redfish, very simple. They're bottom feeders. Okay? Redfish feed on the bottom. Their mouths are pointed down. They are crustacean eaters. In the summertime, the water is hot. Okay? Not just warm, hot. The average temperature is between 85 and 92 degrees. Now let's think about this. When you're in the weather between 85 and 92 degrees, are you very hungry? Not really. Your appetite slows down in hot weather. Well, the same things happen with fish. So you got to understand, when you're going out in the summertime on these grass flats, you don't want to go out in the afternoon. Try to stay out of the water in the evening because you may run across a couple of sharks hunting. Preferably you want to be out early in the morning. Now, here's some of the tips and techniques that work for me in the summertime. Tip number one, and this is a big one. When you're out there on a grass flat, you want to look for a mangrove line, preferably a mangrove island that you have that's accessible by walking to it. If you have a boat, great, and if you have a kayak, God bless you. But if you're a wade fisherman like myself, you need to find a island, a small mangrove island, okay, that you have access to by foot. So that's your first thing you're looking for when hunting for redfish in the summer. Number two, on that island, you want to look for a deep cut. So if you're walking around that particular mangrove island or that mangrove system, look along the line and look for a cut in the system. If you find a cut in the system, what do you think's going to happen? The fish are going to sit in that cut in the cooler water. It can be 5 to 15 degrees cooler in those cuts. Where are the fish going to be? In the cuts, guys. Use the information. I'm telling you, it works. So now, what do you do once you have found that cut? What kind of lure do you use? What techniques do you use? Do you use a plug? Do you use a spoon? Do you use a soft plastic? Well, again, this goes back to my other videos. Well, you don't necessarily want to match the hatch, but you want to be aware of your surroundings. Look what bait that you have around you. Do you have crab around you? Do you have mullet around you? Do you have ladyfish around you? Do you have pinfish around you? Look at your surroundings, okay? At first, try to match the hatch. So if you see those types of bait around that area, use your artificial. Take that lure, find that mangrove island, find that cut, and get that bait as far back underneath those mangroves as you can, because that's where those big redfish are going to lie. Okay, so tip number three. And you know, this is another one that a lot of people, they don't understand, and it's very simple. Although, if you're wade fishing, you have to have the proper footwear because you can get hurt. If you find those particular mangrove lines or small mangrove islands that you can wade to, and you can find those on Google Maps, make sure to locate the oyster bars, okay? Oyster bars are redfish's favorite place to hang out. They love crustaceans, okay? They are going to feed not on top of those oyster bars, but around them. So to rehash, we're looking for a mangrove island with deep cuts, with oyster bars that are close to it. And last but not least, and this is another important factor, don't go out on the outgoing tide. The majority of the redfish, okay, that you're going to hunt, especially in the mornings, okay, work the incoming tide to the high tide against the mangrove lines, looking for deep cuts that have oyster bars nearby or close to those cuts. If you can find everything that I'm talking to you about on your Google Maps, I can assure you that you will have a successful redfish trip. Now, they don't call it fishing for anything. Sometimes you have those days that, you know, you just can't catch them. Okay, they're just not biting. Okay, they've got lockjaw, and you know, I've been there myself. But you put your time in, work your areas, okay, plan your work your plan, okay, and you will be successful out there on those grass flats hunting those redfish. I hope all this helps you out, guys, and that's my job. My job is to make you guys that watch my video a better angler. I want to say my hat's off to you guys all. I love you. Please do me a favor. Help me get to that 1,000 subscriber level. We're almost there. Throw a like, a share, and a subscribe. Tell a friend. And again, if you're interested in booking a waist-deep wade fishing trip with my charter company, all my information is in the description. Just click on the link, get a hold of me, and we'll set up a date and time. Till then, get yourself a redfish, a line sider, and a yellowmouth, and I will see you on the water.